is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and in this video, as you can see, we're back in my truck. Now, I'll give you the whole detail and story on why the truck has been gone for a while, and also why I'm so happy to have it back. And also, as you can probably hear, the AC is fully on. Well, actually, not fully on. It'll be fully on now. My seatbelt grabbed me, and it's grabbing me again. But now the AC is fully on because it is hot. Dude, it is freaking hot out. It's like 95 degrees here or something at the moment. 90, somewhere between 90 and 95. And I'm on my way to the gymnastics place I go to right now because when I'm not doing YouTube or doing school, I'm teaching gymnastics and parkour. So a little bit of a different kind of all over the place kind of stuff. But main thing, oh, by the way, shout out to Speed Hunters for that legit lanyard. Seriously, that thing is awesome. Anyway, so on to the story about the truck. Now, and by the way, I know I'm filming this kind of freehanded at the moment. I was looking for my mount, and basically I was on a time crunch and I had to leave, and so I just grabbed my GoPro and went. But anyway, the whole story on the truck is, and I'll turn the AC off in a second. I apologize for the noise, but the story on the truck is basically about maybe a month or so ago. I would say, yeah, maybe about a month or so ago, was going on the highway, truck started shaking like crazy. Started pulling off, you know, put my turn signal on, put my hazards on, started pulling off the side of the highway, because I knew something wasn't right. You know, you could tell that something wasn't right. The whole truck was shaking, the steering wheel was shaking and everything, and I was like, what the hell is going on, right? So I go to pull off the side of the highway, and just as I get to the edge of the highway, hear a loud bang. And, you know, hear a loud bang, tons of warning lights on the dash come on. I, you know, felt like something was hitting the floor. And so I'm freaking out at this point, right? Pull over, look at what happened, and I go look up under the truck, and the front drive shaft is just sitting there dangling. Now, if I remember correctly, it was dangling from, yeah, it was dangling from the front diff. Because it basically, what happened was the front drive shaft had separated itself from the transfer case, and it had broken some bolts, and there was just a bunch of like big mess, bunch of stuff everywhere, big mess. It had actually bounced off the floor of the truck a couple times, and if you look up under the truck, you can kind of still see where it hit the floor. But basically what happened was it started bouncing off the floor, and as it did that, it grabbed a wiring harness, wound itself in the wiring harness, and pulled a bunch of wires out. So that's where all the warning lights on the dash came from. And I think it pulled, I'm trying to think of what it pulled out. It pulled, let's see, first of all, my fuel gauge went to 0, which I was freaking out like crazy about because I was worried that it hit a fuel line, or I broke the gas tank, fuel tank, because it's diesel. Anyway, I was worried I'd broken the fuel tank and all sorts of crazy stuff. So when I found out it was a wiring harness, I was actually a little bit relieved at that point because, you know, a broken fuel tank would have been nasty. Called the tow truck, got to take it to my friend Troy's shop. You know, it was actually really close to my house. But anyway, so gets down to the shop, you know, they take a look at it and everything, put it all back together, I take it back, and all of a sudden, the fuel gauge goes back to 0 again, tail lights stop working, turn signal stopped working. So again, the wiring issue came back, and I had to actually sit without my my front drive shaft for a good while because they had a really hard time finding U-joints that would work. But they eventually found the U-joints, went back in, got the front drive shaft put back in, and what apparently happened was there were a couple of connectors that were hidden, or like one big connector that was hidden that got pulled out just a little bit more than they thought, and that's what was causing the whole disconnect of the harness. But anyway, now that the truck's back, it's so nice to have it back. The only thing it needs now is an alignment, because the front end had to be apart again, because I had the front diff rebuilt. I had the let's see, I rebuilt the front, or had the front diff rebuilt, had the front hubs replaced, the front wheel bearings replaced, and the only thing basically that's not been touched in the front end is the axle shafts. That's literally the only things Those are the only things that haven't been touched. So that, and also the steering was completely rebuilt with 1-ton steering. So the only thing is, you can see it needs alignment because that is supposedly straight, which, as you can see, it isn't. I mean, it works, but it isn't. So, and getting used to 1-ton steering is kind of an interesting process because it doesn't really return back the same way normal steering does. You kind of have to return it yourself. But I am going to look into putting a dual steering stabilizer on the front because I only have a single right now, which is not the best idea. And I actually had to replace that single one because because the housing for the single steering stabilizer shock I have on there right now got crushed when I went to Dodd Road. And basically the whole story with that was, got stuck in the mud, got stuck bad actually, got stuck in the mud real bad, and ended up like getting stuck all the way up to the axles. Had to call in some Jeep buddies, and we literally had three Jeeps winching to each other and then winching to me with a snatch block, and it was like, it was crazy. There was all sorts of stuff going on. We eventually got the truck to move, but once we got the truck to move, basically the way the wheels were turned, with these big 35s, they basically slammed into this mud bank and snapped a drag link. And when that happened, well, at that point the truck wasn't really drivable home, and so we ended up having to get it towed back home. But long story short, that was a long night. I think we were out, oh God, when did I even get home? I got home at 3 o'clock in the morning? I mean, it was something crazy, something absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, the whole entire front end of the truck is, the whole entire front end of the truck is brand new, completely 100% brand new. There is not another 06 Dodge in the area that I can think of that's got a front end as new as this one. So anyway, moving on past that, the next subject I want to cover is that there will be a surprise coming soon, most likely next week. And it will be a real-life surprise. It's not an in-game surprise. It's actual real-life surprise for you guys, because I know you guys have been waiting for something along these lines for, a little bit of a while. So I'm very excited to bring that to you guys, and I'm very pleased that I'm able to make that happen. And I'm, let's just say, the excitement factor pretty damn high. So, big thanks to you guys for watching this vlog. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to click that like button. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. And don't worry, the next truck vlog will have a proper camera mount. This one was really short notice. I was literally running out of the house when I picked up the GoPro. And I was like, I gotta get there. I don't have time to look for the mount right now. But anyway, again, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.